What advice would you give your younger self? What advice would you give your younger self? Today we are here at this beautiful neighborhood in Newport Beach. Lovely, lovely, lovely. You guys keep telling me how much you want to go outside, you want to see things from the outside. So, well, I decided today is the day that I bring you outside. So I ask you, what advice would you give your younger self as we enjoy this beautiful day right here? What advice would you give your younger self? And it's such a beautiful day, lovely day. So I'll flip my camera so that you can see where we are at. It's a beautiful place. What advice would you give your younger self? Welcome to Post Traumatic Bliss. This is Kanini here. What advice would you give your younger self? I'm waiting for my usual crew to join. Hi, Frank. I would give myself I was younger is to take more chances, and by that I mean not be afraid to ask more girls out. Hey, I love that. You shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. Missed. Oh goodness, that's painful. Ask them all out. Don't be afraid for the no. Hi, morning. Today I decided to go outside here in Newport Beach because you guys tell me you want to go out, and I'm like, yeah, I also need some sun. So I'm right here trying to get a connection. You can see people are about their day, walking their dogs. It's such a nice area, I must say. Yeah, and I'm here getting some sun. Yeah, living it up. Such a cool view, huh? And then, well, now I know. If you don't ask, the answer is no. By default. By default, the answer is no when you don't ask. True, I could agree more. I could not agree more. You learn the hard way. I think in life we learn the hard way until, you know, you must shoot your shot. You must shoot your shot. So Frank says like the lesson that he learned was, uh, I did yoga this morning. I did yoga around, I think 4 a.m. this morning. I think yeah, around 4. I did yoga very early this morning, somewhere very early, maybe 4:45, I'm not sure. But I did some. So Frank is saying he would he'd tell himself to take more chances, particularly asking girls out. He missed opportunities. Missed opportunities, man. Man. I wonder if you would have married the same woman if you took more chances. Or you have, I don't know. What advice would you give your younger self? We are here at the Newport Beach today getting some sun. I'm in my shorts, you can see I'm getting some sun. Yeah, today I decided to go out and get myself some sun. And this is a cool spot. It's actually very quiet. I might end up be doing a lot more a lot more videos here because it's just cool. It's really cool. Yeah, what advice would you give your younger self? Let us know. Make this lively. Make this live chat lively. This live chat is made lively by your comments, by you telling us your story. Frank says, laughing out loud, I wonder too, there was a couple of girls that could have been the one. And I was afraid to ask them because I was afraid of rejection. I know a lot of guys don't ask girls out. And I mean, girls are more afraid than men are to ask them out. To ask, like, it's very rare. Like, I would never ask a guy out no matter what you told me. And that means that if men don't take the chance and ask girls out, a lot of girls miss out on connecting with those guys because they never take the risk. Because, it's a guy's thing. Girls expect men to be bold and to ask them out. And if a guy doesn't, everybody loses. So I think a lot of men need to hear that so that they can take the risk and ask even the hottest girl out that they know, they see. Because probably nobody is asking her out because everybody is afraid that, of asking her out. Rohit says, no matter how many mistakes you make or how slow your progress, you are still way ahead of everyone who is not trying. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? That if you're not making any mistakes, you're not learning. And if you're making mistakes, you're too hard on yourself, you forget that. You're way ahead of the game. Making those mistakes, you're still way, way ahead of the game. Let's look at that. Look at that, baby. Frank says, another pizza of advice I would give my younger self is don't eat the yellow snow. Frank, you got me at the yellow snow. And Frank, you're very well read. You have a way of explaining yourself, expressing yourself that I like. Yeah, that's so true. You know what? My friend Shai, she comes and she's a model. And she tells me that these girls who are models and people think, oh, they are so beautiful, they have the lowest self-esteem because people are so nitty-picky. They're so nitpicking, pinicky about their looks. They tell them, you don't have this, you don't look like that, you don't look like that. And because they're bombarded by this negativity, they end up having lower self-esteem than the average looking girl. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? And you see them, like you go on social media, you will see that very hard girls, it's like they never get enough of you're beautiful all the time, and they end up having this seriously like low self-esteem. Rohit, nice to see you back. What advice would you give your younger self? This is what we are talking about. What advice you would give? For me, honestly, I think the advice I'd give my younger self is God is good. God is good. I mean, we grow up with this idea of God being like this figure who is like just trying to mess up with your mind and your life and punish you. But really, the advice that I see in church now, I see the advice in church from somebody who is more mature and intelligent, and I see that every advice that's in the Holy Book is good advice. It's just meant to protect me and preserve me from harm, to enlighten me, to learn to age well, more gracefully, and enjoy my life it's really it's a really life-saving advice. Hi, Sartak. Satak, now Tiyal, welcome. Are you calling us from India? Today we are asking, what advice would you give your younger self? Hi, Rohit. Hello. Frank is saying, I know it's like, how many times do you have to be told that you're gorgeous or beautiful or you're hot? It's kind of pathetic, would you think? Wouldn't you think? It is pathetic. If people keep telling you how amazing and gorgeous and beautiful you are, and for some reason, like you don't believe it, or there are people who just are kind of like, they need validation, constant validation. It's like no matter what you tell them, it's never good enough advice. And so they need that constant, like, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful. And I think they set themselves up for failure, because whenever there is somebody else who is beautiful and other people acknowledge they're also beautiful, these people end up feeling insecure. Like, am I not beautiful enough? Am I not beautiful enough? How about you first love yourself the way you are? And it doesn't matter whether people acknowledge you're beautiful or not. You just you roll with life. Yeah. Nice to see you again, Sartak. Yes, I noticed your name. It's really sunny. Yeah, it's bright. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let me flip my camera so that you can see a little bit. Look at that cute little bird. I got it on time. It's beautiful. It's beautiful out here. As you can see, this neighborhood, I'm on a hill. So let me flip it. Yeah, it is gorgeous day out here in California. It's sunny, and look at me. I'm wearing my shorts. I'm living it up today. Today I'm getting vitamin D right here on the chat. Another piece of advice I would give my younger self is always take care of number one. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you will step in number two. Oh goodness, that's very profound. Everybody read that advice from Frank right now. If you're on the chat, read that. Take a double take on that advice. He says, another piece of advice I would give my younger self, always take care of number one, because if you don't take care of yourself, you will step in number two, and then you see the shit emoji right there. That's exactly the point. That's exactly the point. Oh, Sartak, thanks for your beautiful comments. You say you're beautiful enough. We have a goddess, Kali, which is the same gorgeous like you. Wow. Tell me more about the goddess, Kali. What does the goddess, what does she do? What are the attributes of the goddess Kali that make her beautiful? Yeah, and thanks for the compliments. I know I'm a beautiful woman. I thank God every day. It's good to thank God, for everything that you've been given, and to be appreciative of it and take care of yourself. Like Frank is saying, take care of number one, because when you don't take care of number one, you become number two. In your life, you should never be number two. In your life, you should never be number two. Let me undo my hair right now. What advice would you give your younger self? Today, that's what we are talking about. I forgot to bring my stand because I thought I'd be just walking around the neighborhood. But when I was walking, I noticed that because of my spot, like I'm using like what do you call it, for internet. This phone is getting internet from the other phone. So the problem is when you're walking around, because this phone has a better camera, when you're walking around, it loses the internet. So I decided to sit here anyway because I might as well get some sun. Frank says, I'm happy that I'm making you laugh because it makes me happy. I love that. I love that. Thanks for making me laugh. It's such a beautiful day. Getting some sun, having some fun. Yeah, I would say I would tell my younger self to trust in God more because the advice that you get from the Bible is timeless. Timeless. You know, the whole thing, work hard, trust in God, pray, have faith, everything's going to come true. All that advice, all that advice is what pushes you through life, telling you not to give up, that God loves you through it all. When you fail, wake up again. You know, all those stories from like King David, when he falls, he makes mistakes, and then he learns from them, he repents, and he moves on with life. In a beautiful way, he ends up being victorious, and we learn from him. And that's kind of like the whole life. Oh, Kali, Sartak says, Kali goddess is like extreme avatar of God Shiva, the wife of God Shiva, and she is pure resemblance of power, representing women having both moods. And one side she is soft-hearted like a mother and a sister, and on the other side she is really dangerous. Even Shiva can't control when she gets angry. Woo! Fiery goddess. Kali is married to Shiva. So Kali, from what I'm getting, Kali is the wife of Shiva, and she's a goddess. And, oh, okay. And so she's a resemblance of power of women, and women do have. It's true, women do have two moods. You know, they have. It depends. Sometimes women are in their happy, jolly mood, and when they're stressed out, they can be moody. And so she's representing that feminine energy. And hi, Islamiana Zayist. Hello, lovely. Love you. Love you, love you. Welcome back, mademoiselle. I love you too. Welcome back. Today, we are asking ourselves, what advice would you give your younger self? Yeah, welcome. What advice would you give your younger self? I do think everybody has two sides to them, which is good because on the other side, on one hand, you have to love yourself and you have to be kind to other people. And then on the other hand, you have to be very protective of yourself and your energy, and you have to put up boundaries. And you just have to keep doing that. And when you put up your boundaries, it's a nice thing that you're doing. Other people will see it as harsh, as something that's not good, so they'll think, oh, she's being mean and unkind. But at the end of the day, it's a dangerous world. And if you want to protect yourself, if you want to live a happy life, you must be able to protect yourself. And protecting yourself means not being nice all the time. You know, it's just how you have to live the life. Today we are asking ourselves, what advice would you give your younger self? Rohit says, friends are the flowers in the garden of life. Beginning with a seed of trust, nurtured with laughter and tears, growing into loyalty and love. Sarthak says, I will give advice. Never become dependent on anybody, not even our shadow. Ooh, we be independent. Secondly, trust your own self. Trust your own self, accept anybody. It's good to be independent, I must say. It's good to be independent. But ultimately, I tell people, look for somebody who is loyal to you, because it's nice to share life with somebody. It's nice to have close relationships. Look for good friends. There are definitely people you cannot trust. And obviously, most people will love you when you're not a burden, when you're independent. A lot of people will be happy with you, and a lot of people are not looking for a project or somebody to help. In life, you've got to be independent. You have got to be independent. That's 100% sure. But it's also good to accept help and ask for help, because sometimes we are in vulnerable situations in life. Imagine as we get older, we lose our abilities, we lose our memory, we lose a lot of things. And it's as much as you can ensure your life, make sure that you have everything. It's also nice to forge close relationships that are based on trust, loyalty, so that when you need something or somebody and you're not able to help yourself, those people will be there for you. Yeah, this advice is great. Become independent. But I say don't be way too independent. Have a little space so that whenever you have those vulnerable moments, you also have a friend, you know, somebody that you can depend on. I'm going to make, there's a video that I'm going to post tomorrow. Make sure you watch that. It's about this Australian couple, and one time the woman, she is only 24 years old, she gets into a bushfire and she is burnt, like 70% of her body is burnt, and she is in hospital. And that time her boyfriend stays with her, helps her in this like very trying time of her life. He is very loyal, very good friend. And she ends up getting healed, but you know, she was burnt 70% of her body, so she still has a lot of burn marks. But they got married, they had children, she started running, she did the Ironman, and it's because her boyfriend was there and she needed that love. So that's why I say it's good to be independent. On her own, she's very independent. She does everything she can. She got pregnant, she exercises, eats healthy. She does everything she can, and she writes books. But she needed that man. So we all need somebody, because we don't know how tomorrow might go. Invest in loyal friends, loyalty. Sarthak says, I have a very loving partner who says that I am with you in your hard times, because not everybody has the patience to accept you when we are suffering in hard times. Exactly. I love that. You're independent and you have a supportive partner. You got two things going for you. I love that. Sarthak says her boyfriend is a true partner. He is a gem. That's what's called a real person, the person who accepts you the way we are, not when we change for someone. Exactly, exactly. And that's when life becomes beautiful. That's when life becomes beautiful. It's a beautiful day. For those of you who haven't seen where we are at, that's where we are at. Across there is the Pacific Ocean. This is Newport Beach. It's a very beautiful place in California. You can see people here. They like running, having fun, you know. Today we chose this spot right here so that, we can get some sun. I'm getting some sun. I'm loving this day. I'm loving this day. Yeah, Sarthak, it's true. What is this neighborhood called? Newport Beach. So they call it the Newport because 2 hours away from here south, 2 hours down south from here is San Diego. And San Diego, that's when they have the old port, because that's when the Navy, they started the marine life there, like Marine Corps, like that's where they started everything. But then it got crowded, and then they opened this port here, so they call it the new port. And yeah, so we are in Newport, and people have made a life here, a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, this is like a very expensive neighborhood. You can obviously see it is like, you can obviously see people living their life. Yeah. So I decided to come here. Islamiana say, thanks, baby love. Yours is super. So yeah, I came here to do a video. I wanted to get out of the house. I wanted to get out of the house. So Islamiana, tell us, what advice would you give your younger self? What advice would you give your younger self? So Rohit says, friends are flowers in the garden. Sarthak says he would become more independent. And Frank says he would take more chances, especially with girls. He says he would holler at them and take his chances, especially with the pretty ones. Frank says, especially with the pretty ones. Yeah, Newport is beautiful. Yeah, it's one word though. It's one word. I was just giving you the history. And then from your podcast, it seems like I'm blessed to feel the feeling that you're feeling right now. Life is how you make it. Life is how you make it. And that's why I started post-traumatic bliss, because sometimes we tend to think about our problems so much. So we tend to think about like what's going wrong with our lives. And what we have been through. Things should never have been this way. I wish things would have been that way. But the more you think that way, the more unhappy you become, because you're living in regret. At post-traumatic bliss, I show people, and this is the training that I give people, your mind will create what you focus on. What you focus on, you build neural networks in your mind about it. So you don't want to build neural networks in your mind about regret. So we want to focus on the beautiful life ahead, no matter what. We want to focus on the beautiful life ahead. Even when you think that it's not happening in real life, you can create it. You can create a beautiful life. You have the power. You have the power. So that's what post-traumatic bliss is about. switching our mindset to a new life. No matter what, you have to make the switch in your mind that you're not going to focus on the negative in your life, things that bring you down, things that don't prepare you forward. You always have to think it's getting better and better, and you're getting better and better, and your moves are making you better and better. You have to think that way because you create the life that you deserve and you create the life that you think about. So never look back ever. Ever. Never look back at about what you didn't have. Look about what you can have tomorrow. Appreciate what you have right now. And you keep getting better and better. Better and better. Sarthak says, also advice I will give, if you have parents, give them love, support them until they are with you, because nobody, how hard we try, once they are gone, they are gone. Just try to give them a little time to them. The people who love you the most. Hello.
Question.
Yes.
Is it okay to park on this street right here?
I think so. What does that sign say?
It says no parking Tuesday.
Only Tuesdays.
12:30.
Yeah, only Tuesdays because they are cleaning.
Okay then.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. That's all.
No worries. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You got the perfect view right here.
Oh, it's such a beautiful view.
I know.
Yeah.
No smoke here too.
Yeah, and the only place you can park is the red ones.
Don't park the red one.
Oh, on the red. Yeah, on the red.
You can park on the red?
No.
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 That's what I thought.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Enjoy the view.
Thank you.
Mhm. Okay, so also advice I will give. Advice I will give if you have parents. Yeah, you know what? I lost my parents when I was 6 years old, and my life has been terribly difficult because of that. I'm not regretting anything, but I am thankful that I'm still alive, because to survive without parents is a hassle. Is a hassle. But I made it. But if my parents were alive right now, I would give them the world. You know, I would shower them with affection and love. Yeah. But you never know what you're missing. You know, people take advantage of their parents all the time. They take them for granted. But I think if you saw the life that I have had and the things that I have gone through because I didn't have that love coming from somebody, or somebody caring enough to give me life advice, to help me with the little things in life, you know. Even like in high school, when I was having, you know, like emotional problems, mostly was because I didn't have a parent to go talk to. And those little things, I say, you know, like, you need to appreciate your parents. If they gave you advice, they gave birth to you, they took care of you for, you know, like most kids die by the time they are 5 years. You know, a lot of kids die. Absolutely. Shower them with gifts, give them time, get to know them. Once they are gone, it's over. It's over. You know, and you know, I come from a Christian background, and the Bible says, honor your father and mother. And it says, this is the only commandment that has a promise. It's the only one that has a promise. That when you honor them, your days will be more. Your days will be more. And if you don't honor your parents, I think the regret that you live with can actually kill you. You know, do it for yourself. Honor them, even if they're not the best parents in the world. They're the ones you got. They brought you into this realm, you know. Sarthak says emotional support of parents gives us like a support of umbrella in a heavy rain. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? And a lot of people with mental health problems, they get them when they lack that emotional support from a parent. That can cause you to have a lot of mental health problems. And most of the people that I coach and my clients is because they are coming from very negative parental environments, even from their parents. But I tell them the way to go forward is to still honor your parents and heal that relationship. Is still honor them, do what you can for them. I know some parents are difficult and you may probably need to move away from them for you to heal. And I say that's okay too. You can move, if they are very abusive, you can distance yourself from them. But a loving and kind parent, especially, you should never, ever dishonor them. That's very good advice. Today, you guys have become the coach. You are coaching. I love this. Sarthak says that gives me such an energy and vibe that I feel I could complete my daily bucket list so easily. I love to hear that. I love to hear that. That you're not feeling any fatigue about going about your to-do list. You look at that lady, she is relaxing, getting some sun, just so still, just relaxing. It's nice to have self-care, to routinely take care of yourself, like making it a habit of loving yourself. Look at how green that grass is, though. They water this damn park. They water this damn park. Oh, goodness. Today has been such a beautiful day, though. Look at it. That's so beautiful. The sun is coming out. So I got this shirt when I got baptized. It says, one second, live free. Live free. Live free. What does living free mean for you? What does it mean to live free? What does it mean for you to live free? No, I can't smell any fire. Look, there is no smoke. That day is as clear as it gets. There's the breeze coming from the beach, and it's awesome. There is that breeze coming, and it's so nice over here. Where I stay, my place, we live near the airport, and sometimes you hear the noise of the airport. But right here, I'm telling you, right here is paradise. I feel the breeze, the sun, it's quiet, it's beautiful. Man, I don't smell anything. I didn't even realize there were fires because I rarely watch the news anyway. I don't smell anything. Yeah. Ooh, just getting some sun. Living free. Living free. What advice would you give your younger self? This is what we want to hear. What advice you would give your younger self if you were to turn back time? Just turn back the wheels of time. And everything you have been through, everything that you've gone through, baby. What advice? What advice would you give your younger self? Give us that advice so that we never go back through that route again and we can do better. We can do better. We can do better. Brad, welcome back. Brad, welcome back. What advice would you give your younger self? And Brad, my God, why are you saying my God? Don't you know that you're not supposed to take the name of the Lord in vain? You call the name of the Lord when it's necessary. When you're in deep shit, that's when you call God. You just don't call God just like that. Never take the name of the Lord in vain. You're saying you always find this. You haven't subscribed. You haven't subscribed. Subscribe, 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 subscribe. Man, subscribe. Then you'll get the notification. Then it's no longer luck. Man, man. Brad, tell us what advice you'd give your younger self. Today we are talking about real deep stuff right here. What advice would you give your younger self? Tell us. Tell us. I know you have something right there. I see it. Sata say, one more advice. No, give us more. This is not, give us more and more. Don't try to make big goals. Just try to write a diary. Just try to write a diary and note down in that daily task, mini task for every day, because we all make long plans, but in reality, we only have today. I mean, we achieve big goals over time. Over time, you achieve big goals. For example, when you are young, let's say you are a small boy or a small girl, you say one day I'll get married and have children. That's a big goal. You know, you have it. It's there, and it's good to have that kind of like big goal. In terms of how you go ahead to achieve that goal, you know, that takes time, right? If you say one day I want to buy this beautiful home, you know, it will take you to have a business or some nice paying job or something that you're doing to the community, and then you have that. But it takes time. It takes time. You grow up into those goals. It's good to understand that with time, those big goals will come. You know, with time, if you keep working towards them, they will come. Yeah, but you have to have that big goal, and then every morning, every day, you do the small little tasks, like Satak is saying, you do the small little tasks that get you to that big goal. You know, and don't worry yourself so much about the big goal. Don't let it weigh on your head too much. You know, just be consistent with the small things that add up to the big goal. You know, every day, just focus on, if you wake up and you're like, I'm tired and I don't know, I'm thinking about these big goals, go back to this moment, what is the one thing that I can do? Just one small thing that I can do to take me to the next and the next and the next milestone. Just focus on the one thing that you can do. It's great advice from Sarthak here. You know, write down those daily tasks. Don't get overwhelmed by the big goal. It'll come. When you feel overwhelmed by the big goal, just go back. Frank Aguirre says, another piece of advice, don't stick your finger into that electrical socket. Don't burn yourself. Don't burn yourself. Don't burn yourself. You know, take caution, you know. I mean, it's nice to take risks, but calculate them. Calculate those risks. I love that advice, Frank. Also, Thak says, because our mind is really tricky, a tricky machine, once we give it a long-term plan, then it starts relaxing, telling us, don't worry, we have time. You gotta tell yourself what to do today. You gotta, yeah. Some people say, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow never comes. You have, like for example, I am a mental health influencer. I like to influence people and connect with people. But one of the things that I have to do, I know that I have to make a video, I have to edit the videos, I like going live, so I love it. So I love to connect with people live. And these are small things that I do on a daily basis, and they will add up. If you think about, if I go live and connect with people every day for a whole year, and we discuss things, how many people get the chance to connect? And we can have these lively discussions. If you think about it for a whole year, that's a lot. But every day, small things that make it big. You know, and that's what Sarthak is saying. The mind is tricky. If you give it a big plan, it'll relax. So you must, you know, you don't want it to be there, relaxing, thinking it has time. Sorry, see you later. In a music, listen. All right, see you. See you, Islamiana. Everybody tell Islamiana wants to go to sleep. Everyone tell him good night. Thanks for joining us. Let's tell him to have a good night. Wish him a good night so he can sleep well. So we can see him tomorrow. Sleep well. See you tomorrow, I hope. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night. Have a good night. So you can see, like, it's a beautiful day. People kind of like end up like walking. In Southern California, what you will notice is people are very active every day. And this is why, like, we do these things. Like, the body needs to be taken care of. It's number one. Your body is your best friend, right? Always remember that. And when you see people relaxing, taking care of their body, you know, let them inspire you, and so that you can inspire other people to do the same. Just walking around your neighborhood is nice. When I came to Southern California, I wasn't ever taking seriously my body until I kind of started seeing people do it, and I was like, oh, I need to do more. I need to do more. Taking care of number one. It's a beautiful day. I'm enjoying the sun, baby. I thought it would be better for us to do something outside because we are always in the house. And I chose this spot. I didn't know it would turn out so well. We might make this our spot, our little spot right here to do live. Let me see. So we are getting goals here. We are getting goals here, like things that we can do to improve our lives. Sarthak says, you know, don't make big goals, just write small goals, you know, focus. He's trying to tell you, focus your goals, focus your action. Make sure you're doing focused action. That's what he would tell himself if he went back. And so I wonder, Sarthak, maybe did you overwhelm yourself when you were making these big goals? And then you decide, well, maybe I should make small goals. Why are you getting overwhelmed? And then he says friends are flowers in the garden of life, so make friends. That's what he'd tell himself. Friends are flowers in the garden of life. He'd make more friends. Sarthak said he would become more independent in your life. And Frank says he would take care of number one. Take care of number one, because if you don't take care of yourself, you'll become number two. And then he put the shit emoji, so you know what that means. You always want to take care of number one, yourself. And Frank said another good advice he would tell his younger self is to ask as many girls out, because, you know, to give himself more chances, more and more chances in life. Well, I think that is great advice, very great advice. And I think we could end this live stream on such a beautiful note. It has been a wonderful time, and so nice for you guys for joining us live. I love seeing you guys. So, well, let's take a break and see you tomorrow. And until next time, may God bless you. Have a good night or have a wonderful day, whichever time zone you're in.